Akinyelure and Clement Faboide. A total of 201 delegates were accredited for the election across the 6 local government areas in the district, but 199 are available for the election. The People's Democratic Party in Ondo State is conducting the primary election for senatorial seats across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. So far, the process has been peaceful. Eight of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State have emerged for the seat of the House of Assembly as well as the House of Representatives ahead the 2023 election.
Under the supervision,
the primaries were held in the 26 constituencies across the state. Juliet Bona reports that the elections, which were generally peaceful, as a female candidate from Akure South North Federal Constituency.
Under the supervision of the party's electoral committee and INEC officials, the 70 delegates for the House of Representatives voted amid tight security.
29, 30, 31.
The female contestant for Akure South, Akure North Federal Constituency, Kemisola Adesonya, won the party's ticket for the House of Representatives. Adesonya had 38 votes, with Olumiwadu polling 19 votes and Babatunde Faro 11 votes, even as 1 vote was declared void. Mrs. Kemisola Adesonya's candidature was affirmed by the Electoral Committee Chairman, Jumoke Akindele. It was a peaceful conduct at Akure South Constituency 1 as Johnson Oguntodu scooped 8 votes, beating his closest rival, Rotimi Abiodun, who had 6 votes, and Temitope Ajayi 5 votes. Bankole Ajayi recorded no votes.
Mr. Olajide Johnson Oguntodu scored is the winner by scoring the highest number of votes, 8 votes out of the 19 available votes.
The exercise in Akure South Constituency 2 was initially declared inconclusive, but a rerun later held saw Adeolu Adeniran clinch the party's ticket with 9 votes, just as Olayeye Gbangba polled 6 votes, Emmanuel Adesunloro 2 votes, and Olufunke Johnson 1 vote. For the winners, the process of unifying the party is the major goal in ensuring victory at the general elections.
Well, number one thing is to, seek audience with other contestants, and then let us come together, and from there we do proper reconciliation between the parties. That's the process. Then 2, we will be consulting with party leadership as to what's next to do. As you know, the election proper is not this year. It's next year, so we have plenty of time to plan, to think.
We'll start talking to ourselves. It's all about the party. It's victory for all of us. We want to make sure we'll win the general election. We are going to be together by the grace of God.
The PDP party primaries were generally orderly and peaceful across the 26 constituents in the states.
To succeed President Muhammadu Buhari in 2023 elections has assumed a dimension, if at all, unwitnessed in the country, judging by the number of hopefuls. Without recourse to the numerous challenges confronting the country, many politicians have thrown their hat into the ring, seeking to govern the most populous nation in Africa. Osrc Zaid Aribisala in his report examines the enthusiasm of no fewer than 40 aspirants vying for tickets despite insecurity, inflation, debt, a potential food crisis, amongst others, bedeviling the country.
National Monetary Fund's report, Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria, spent 85.5% of its revenue on servicing the debt in 2021. The National Bureau of Statistics put the nation's economic size at $420 billion, while the Debt Management Office record shows Nigeria's total debt as of December 2021 was $94.166 billion. And the Food and Agriculture Organization predicts that by June and August 2022, the number of food insecure in Nigeria hovers around 18 million. 323 security officers were killed by non-state actors nationwide between January the 1st and May the 15th, 2022, while the Nigeria Security Tracker reports 3,859 deaths and 1,827 kidnappings in the first 4 months of 2022, suggesting a radical approach to alter the frightening situation. As Nigeria heads for another defining moment in the 2023 polls, the capacity of competence and character of political gladiators who aspire to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari continue to spring comments and questions. Are these hopefuls aware of the nation's larger-than-life challenges and the Midas touch to fix the deficits? Are they pretenders? And if not, what do they have up their sleeves?
Imagine all of them running into that. There's something in there because they know they don't have anything to offer. Okay, look at some of their manifestos. The reason why Nigeria is not progressing as the level we are today is as a result of lack of management. Our government and those people that have been ruling us, they lack management skills. Because looking at it, a lot of things is happening in the security level, and we have that kind of money in this country, and you even to the level of the Osrc strike that we are in. That
it is not that they are coming to help the situation, but because of self-interest. It's because of self-interest. Otherwise, if you and I are contesting for something, then the other now call you that step down for me. If you are not particularly about something there, you won't say you will not step down. But when you know that something is there that you are pursuing, you say, as you are having interest, I too is having interest. So I won't step down for you. So something is there that they are pursuing.
Looking at the two frontline political parties, 15 aspirants are good to go for the PDP ticket. 25 aspirants are also due to be screened to eye the ruling All Progressives Congress ticket. While the large number of the contenders has been described as a good omen to democracy, some Nigerians ascribe the crowd to the selfishness.
So some people are out actually in the presidential race because they want to negotiate. They want to negotiate for, relevance. They're looking for opportunity. After they have paid that, they'll be referred to as former presidential, aspirant. And if in that party that there is possibility of having to pick a deputy, the vice president from, their zone of the country, you will discover that such fellow will be pushing that, I contested, for the presidency, I am a presidential material too. So that they will have an advantage over, others from their geopolitical zones. But you see that so many of us are unserious in this climb. And that's why you see the retinue of people coming, even those people that cannot deliver their polling units. You see them coming out to say they want to contest for president.
Observers attribute Nigeria's current development, despite abundant resources, as a failure of successive administrations. And as the march to 2023 continues, citizens have been enjoined to vote according to their conscience. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
Report just reaching us says a senior advocate of Nigeria, Ifedayo Adedipe, has won Ondo Central Senatorial District with 82 votes. He beat his co-contestant. He beat his co-contender, a sitting senator, Ayo Akinyelure, who had 58 votes, and former chairman of the party, Clement Faboyede, who had 57 votes. We'll bring you more details in our subsequent bulletins. Due to the ongoing fuel scarcity in Akure, the Ondo state capital, some motorists have begun to seek alternative from neighboring states. Osrc's crew in Owena, Ijesha, caught up with Mr. Ahmed Oluwasegun, a taxi driver who came purposely to get petrol in the town. He lamented the hardship currently meted out to motorists in the state. Reports earlier in the week revealed that the crisis rocking the leadership of petroleum marketers in Ore has resulted in the stoppage of the influx of petrol tankers into Ondo State.
àmọ́ náà wẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń kó wọn ní lọ́wọ́. Ìwé ni mo ti wá sí Ọ̀wẹ́n Ìjẹ̀ṣà, which is Osrc state.
Kí ni tó?
Torí epo petrol ààrí làkúrẹ́ ló jẹ́ kí n wá sí Osrc state. So mo tẹ̀ débi ní síbẹ̀ mo tẹ̀ bí epo wà.
There's no any lorry tanker way past this state. Either they have miles between Lagos from tanker places, but there's no any places where the fish from here. I saw them reach bridge, top of the bridge, a battery of 2 6 So after that day, they don't even spend like 2 hours before they go back. So since that day, there's no anybody there again.
The Ondo State government has commenced the dredging of waterways in Ilaje local government area. Equipment and other resources have been mobilized to the area for the dredging project at Idiogba, Alagbo and Magbenwa communities. Speaking with journalists, the Permanent Secretary on Ondo State Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Shegun Odusoya, said the project is targeted at giving residents of the area a new lease of life. Kunle Ario reports.
Since the inception of the present administration in Ondo State, it has invested in the development of infrastructure, especially through road construction across the central districts of the state. Now it is time for residents of Idiogba, Alagbon and Magbahinwa communities to benefit from the efforts of the Akeredolu administration in making life bearable for the people in line with its redeemed agenda. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Shegun Odusoya, said the dredging, which is expected to span about 1 month to beat the advent of heavy rains, will enhance transportation on waterways and in turn boost economic activities of the benefiting communities.
That is their major form of transportation. Without that, they will be able to access other facilities like the market, like the school, like the health facilities. And this will go along with to promote their business. The timeline is immediate. In fact, this project is being executed under emergency procurement. If the state government did not do it right away, we will lose it this season. So the timeline is 1 month, thereabout. It's emergency procurement. It must be done before the sea level rises again, so that it will pave way for the contractor to do a very good job there.
The consultant to Ondo State government on waste management as well as environmental and ecological matters, whose firm is handling the dredging project, Dr. Abiola Bashono, said all hands are on deck to complete the job as and when due.
The peculiarity of this particular location is that it is by the ocean and it is the lowest part of the terrain. So what we have seen is that when the tides come, it comes with a lot of silt, okay? And over the years, the silts have piled up to the point where the people cannot even trade. Their major trade is fishing. So the depth of the sea around the coast is so thick that their boats and their canoes cannot really move. So the first thing we want to do is to dredge. We call it sweeping, to sweep the whole area, to increase the sea, the depth from, right now it's about 1 meter. We're trying to take it down to like 4 to 6 meters, okay? So that the boats can float. Then the barge that we're going to use to do some major constructions there can also float. So the first part of this project is an emergency intervention.
She commended residents of the communities for their cooperation in ensuring the success of the project. The project, when completed, is expected to enhance the living standard of residents of the communities. Kunle Ario, Osrc News.
A grassroots security initiative such as the Amotekun Security Network has been identified as the only solution to insurgency, banditry and other security challenges threatening Nigeria's collective existence. The commander of Amotekun Corps in Ondo State, Adetunji Adeleye, made the recommendation in Accra, the state capital, while highlighting the Corps' modest efforts to consolidate the state's security gains in the first quarter of 2022. Osrc's Richard Ilesomi reports that the Amotekun chief said the operations have led to the arrest of about 4,000 suspects and convictions of a significant number of criminals in the period under review.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu's recent description of Amotekun Security Initiative as a necessary outfit in the Federation has once again demonstrated the Corps' enviable place in Nigeria's security architecture. The governor had, in a recent statement, said Amotekun points at the path to tread in ensuring that collaborative efforts among security agencies yield maximum protection for the citizenry. Its modest achievements in fighting crime and delinquency for a safer Ondo State in the first quarter of 2022 justifies the governor's position as the state continues to record low levels of criminal activity. Commander of Amotekun Corps in the state, Adetunji Adeleye, said the success stories of Amotekun have proven that it is the solution to Nigeria's unending insurgency and banditry in the north, as well as pockets of security breaches by gunmen in the southeast and other parts of the country.
No matter how good you are, even with the sophistication of the surveillance equipment, you still need grassroots and intelligence story of where you want to go and meet criminals. So the bottom line is grassroots security, call it state-based security. That is the solution to insurgency.
On the operations of the Corps in Ondo State in the first quarter of 2022, Adeleye said Amotekun, through its cleanup initiative and collaboration with other security agencies, made over 4,000 arrests and secured the conviction of a significant number of suspects for various crimes. He said Amotekun, in collaboration with the military, launched attacks on suspected kidnappers, terrorizing Akoko axis, Osrc, and Owo, and also synergized with security agencies from neighboring states to tackle inter-border crimes.
The last operation we did a couple of days ago, we were able to engage these criminals with the assistance of the Nigerian Army that went with us, and officers and men of security agencies in Edo and Kogi State. And I will tell you this, that it actually yielded a lot of dividends. These are some of the things that are responsible for the low criminal activities in Ondo State.
Adeleye said the Corps has also reactivated and reinvigorated its 12 control points across the state for rapid response, urged residents to provide Amotekun operatives with useful and timely information to further secure lives and property. He urged public-spirited individuals and organizations to assist government in funding the agency to further deliver on its mandate for a crime-free Ondo State. Richard Ilesomi, Osrc News.
Telecom subscribers in Ondo State have opposed the planned increase in the cost of voice call, short message service, SMS, and data in the country. The telecoms operators, under the aegis of the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria, had written to the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, about the tariff review. Joy Pius sampled the opinion of subscribers on the planned hike and now reports.
The Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria recently wrote to the Nigerian Communications Commission asking for upward review of voice call, short message SMS, and data costs. Chairman of the association, Benga Adebayo, said the move became imperative due to high cost of delivering telecom services across networks, coupled with the continuous rise in the cost of items in all sectors of the economy.
Being a sector that is heavily energy dependent, and as you do know, number of operating sites across the country are running on diesel fuel, So this, in the first instance, have had significant impact on cost of providing services. Because of the high cost of diesel, how expensive it is to procure diesel, we must have rates that are realistic with the current realities of the market. Because our sector is not operating outside the socio-economic framework of other sectors of the economy. So problems that is faced by all other sectors are also being faced by us. We continue to provide services on non-discriminating basis, available at all times and in all places. This is being done at significant cost.
Going by the proposed upward review by the Telecom Association, the charge on call is expected to increase from 6.4 naira to 8.95 naira, while the price for SMS will increase from 4 naira to 5.61 naira. In Akure, the situation has begun to generate discourse among subscribers, while some service providers said they have not received any message to that effect.
I'm not aware, and from our own end here, I can say there is no increase because I also am using SIM card both to browse and to do some other things. So if they want to increase, fine, but they have not given us notice.
We've not received any mail, so we cannot say there's any increase in any price. It has always been the same thing. So for now, there's nothing of such.
Subscribers decried the excessive deductions of credits from their SIMs, adding that the proposed increase by the association will worsen the situation.
At least not now that they should increase the tariff. At least they should look concerning the situation we are facing now, not only in Ondo State, but they should be able to look how they should reduce the money. I think they should reduce the money instead of increasing the money.
These days, you always see me online more than making calls because of the amount of money that I spend on recharging my phone.
We use our phones for different things. We call our customers for business and other things. So they really have to help us out with it, especially the masses, people that don't really have that much.
Both Settle, MTN and Glo as well. So we experience fluctuation in their network.
However, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has allayed subscribers' fears over the planned hike of the voice call, SMS and data service costs by 40%, with an assurance that telecoms cannot collectively or unilaterally increase the cost of telecom services without due approval by the Regulatory Commission. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
The heroics of goalkeeper Jafet Okubo proved decisive as Sunshine Stars fought valiantly to earn a share of the spoils with Lobby Stars at the Aparako Stadium, Makurdi, on March Day 29 of the Nigeria Professional Football League. Both sides went for the game from the get-go, but clear-cut opportunities were few and far between in the opening half. The referee awarded Lobby Stars a penalty 5 minutes after the restart, but Okubo was not breached as Rafa Ayagua failed to convert. As the game approached the home stretch, the pride of Benue picked up the intensity. Okubo and his backline held firm and warded off the onslaught to ensure that the Emmanuel Dutch tinkered side saw out the tie unscathed. Sunshine Stars remain in the 9th position with 39 points. Next play, Katsina United in Akure. And still talking sport, after 38 games laced with turns and twists, Manchester City have emerged champions of the 2021-2022 season of the English Premier League with 1 point separating them from closest challenger, Liverpool. The league winners had to score 3 times in the last 20 minutes to overturn a 2-goal lead by a determined Aston Villa to clinch their second successive title and 4th in the last 5 years. Race House's Abiodun Adewale captured the pulsating atmosphere on the last day of the EPL from the title race to the relegation battle.
Don't forget they have Mo Salah on the bench too.
For yet another season, Manchester City and Liverpool take the English Premier League race down to the wire. With a point between them on final day, a win for Manchester City against Aston Villa will guarantee a successive Premier League title. But on the other hand, Liverpool are hoping for the unimaginable from their club legend, Steven Gerrard, who is now in charge of Aston Villa.
And that's why these fans are so nervous right now.
Aside the title race, there was still a top 4 place to fight for between Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal, while either of Leeds United or Burnley would be relegated. For all these potential dramas, there were enough screens to watch as fans stayed glued to the edge of their seats. The title race began earnestly as Liverpool conceded inside 2 minutes, scored an equalizer, while Aston Villa drew first blood against Manchester City. Aston Villa made the job more difficult for Man City by scoring a second goal, but Liverpool weren't taking advantage at Anfield, where Wolves still held them 1 apiece. Liverpool eventually found a way to take the lead against the Wolves, but before then, Man City had come back from 2 goals down to lead 3-2 against Aston Villa. At the end of the dramatic turns of events, Man City and Liverpool earned their much-needed wins, resulting in a successful title defense for Pep Guardiola and his boys with 93 points.
We all tried, the players tried, the coach tried, every technical team, they tried. I think we did our very best, but I know next season will be better, because we actually don't have any cause for alarm or failure. We are actually good. Incredible, fantastic. I'm very happy and impressed to be a fan of Liverpool. Liverpool for life.
Last match of all Premiership is always crazy. From 2-0 down, this is the first time Man City have ever come back from 2-0 down to win a match. This is the first time ever in their history. And the final match at their home, no, the match is out of it. Everybody really enjoys it.
Elsewhere at Carrow Road, Tottenham Hotspur put a stamp on their Champions League qualification with a comfortable win against Norwich City at the expense of Arsenal, who fell short despite their win against Everton. Leeds United stayed alive in the relegation battle thanks to a 2-1 win over Brentford, while Burnley were carried away by the relegation waters. Abiodun Adewale, Osrc News.
And that's it on Sunshine Report. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.